यस्यान्तन्नादिमध्यं नहि करचरणं नाम गोत्रं न सूत्रं नो जातिर्नैव वर्णा न भवति पुरुषो नानुपुंसं न च स्त्री नाकारं नो विकारं न हि जनिमरणं नास्ति पुण्यं न पापं तत्त्वं नो तत्त्वमेकं सहजसमरसं सद्गुरुं तं नमामि सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् मौनव्याख्या प्रकटितपरब्रह्म तत्त्वं विभानम् परिशिष्टान्ते वसदशिगणैरावृतं ब्रह्मनिष्ठैः आचार्येन्द्रं करकलितचिन्मुद्रमानन्दमूर्तिं स्वात्मा रामं मुदितवदनं दक्षिणामूर्तिमीडे वेदान्तार्थविभासकाय यतये शान्ताय सन्न्यासिने नानावादिरगेन्द्रसङ्घपवये योगीन्द्रवत्याय च मोहध्वान्तदिवाकराय भगवत्पादाभिधां बिभ्रते तस्मै भाष्यकृते नमोऽस्तु सततं पूर्णाय बोधात्मने अपारसच्चित्सुखवारिराशेर्यस्योर्मिमात्रं भुवनं समस्तं गुहाहितं तं रमणं गभीरं चिन्ताविहीनं हृदि चिन्तयामि राकाचन्द्रसमानकान्तिवदनानाकाधिराजस्तुता मूकानामपि कुर्वती सुरधुनी नीकाशवाग्वैभवम् श्रीकाञ्चीनगरी विहाररसिका शोकापहन्त्री सताम् एका पुण्यपरम्परा पशुपतेराकारिणी राजते योऽन्तः प्रविश्यं मवाचमिमां प्रसुप्तां सञ्जीवयत्यखिलशक्तिधरस्वधाम्ना अन्यांश्च हस्तचरणश्रवणत्वगादीन् प्राणान् नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यम् मूकं करोति वाचालं भङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवम् यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे सद्गुरुं चन्द्रशेखरं मातामहौ मातरं च पितरं च पितामहौ मातुलं च गुरून् सर्वान् वन्देऽहं ज्ञानसिद्धये पीताम्बरं करविराजितशङ्खचक्रकौमोदकीसरसिजं करुणासमुद्रं राधासहायमतिसुन्दरमन्दहासं वातालयेशमनिशं हृदि भावयामि गोपिका जीवनस्मरणं गोविन्द गोविन्द जानकीकान्तस्मरणं जय जय राम राम हर नमः पार्वतीपतये हर हर महादेव in each one's spiritual life, for the sake of spiritual progress, we need an Ishta Devata. This concept of Ishta Devata is unique, like many other features, to our Sanatana Dharma. Each person's capability, it may be their mental maturity or their ability to focus, their vasanas, their karma, all this put together has to be taken into factoring to choose your Ishta. Sometimes we might not even choose it. Our situation might give us an Ishta. Our Guru might give us some puja. Our family tradition will give us an Ishta. And all that is because of your own vasana, your adhikar. That is how an Ishta Devata is chosen for each one. This concept of Ishta Devata is to make your spiritual progress speed up. When you have that form in your mind, a form that is conducive to you, a form on which you can meditate upon, a form which you can love, a form which can love you, a form with which you can speak, a form with which you can do everything. both worldly, otherworldly, and anything, and which is a reflection of your own self, that Ishta takes you to the highest. This Ishta depends on Adhikari. An Adhikari is a person who has chosen his dharma is an Adhikari. Adhikara basically means capability. Anybody who enters the path of dharma is an Adhikari. He might have various capabilities. One might be a lower Adhikari, one might be a higher Adhikari. Their capabilities might be different, but they are all some level of Adhikaris. Based on your level of Adhikara, your Ishta will also speak to you. So the way of looking at your Ishta also will depend on your Adhikara. How we look at our Ishta, how we are able to communicate with our Ishta, and what are the qualities we impose on our Ishta Devata. The Ishta Devata is a reflection of our own desires, of our own capabilities, of our own gunas. So that is what an Ishta reflects, and then it takes you up to the next level. Bhattatri in Dashakam 89 and 90 is delineating his Ishta of Guruvayurappa, of Narayana, and he places him on the highest pedestal. We have to see these two Dashakams from that lens, that your Ishta has to be closest to you. Your Ishta is always the greatest among all Ishtas. Somebody else might be doing Upasana of some other Devata, but for you, your Ishta is your greatest. And that is what is going to give you your Jnana. Among those Ishtas, Bhattatri gives us a picture of why this Ishta of Narayana, the one lying on that beautiful ocean of milk on the Adishesha, with his consort as Lakshmi, is very conducive to attain the highest goal of moksha. These two Dashakams of 89 and 90 give us that Mahavishnu is the greatest deity. And from wearing this lens, when we have Mahavishnu as our Ishta Devata, here Krishna standing right next to us, he should capture our heart completely. And to help that happen, Bhattatri begins, Rama jani jani yediha tava bhakteshu vibhavaha na satya sampadhyaha tadiha madakritva dashaminam prashantim kritvaiva pradishasi tatah kamamakilam prashanteshu kshipram nakhalu bhavadiye katha. Rama Jani, he calls out the consort of Lakshmi. Janihi, Rama Janihi means consort, oh husband of Lakshmi. Tava bhakteshu vibhavaha nasadya sampatyah. Your devotees do not immediately gain wealth. This whole Dashakam is a condensation of chapters 88 and 98 Dashamaskandha. Almost the end chapters. There, Bhagavan himself says that I do not confer material wealth on my bhaktas immediately. If they ask for material wealth, I do not confer on them immediately. Only once they are stable in their spiritual progress, once they have attained to that samya sthiti, then if necessary, I will give them material opulence. Or else material opulence will come in the way of spiritual progress.
So I will not give them that. Let them always work towards that samasthiti, the mental purity, chitta shuddhi. May that come. So the prosperity does not come to them immediately, because that prosperity is a hurdle. It generates pride, it generates garva. We think that that is more than enough. Artha is enough. So I do not give that prosperity to my devotees. Only once they have established themselves in that samasthiti, prashantim kritvaiva pradishasi tataha. Once they are all prashanta, then you give them any amount of prosperity. The previous Dashaka of Kuchela itself shows that. He is a Brahmavittama. When he is conferred with prosperity, that all that prosperity will be used in devotion of Bhagavan. And it will be always in Dharma Karya. Whereas if prosperity is conferred elsewhere, then it might lead to destruction. Prashanteshu kshipram nakhalu bhavadiye jyutikatha. If they are already immensely devoted to you, then they can never fall off. They will never slip off. Chuta is to slip from somewhere and fall down, decay. That is chuta. To be achyuta, just like you. So that word achyuta itself means one who does not slip away, one who does not fall. Nakhalu bhavadiye chutikatha. In your devotees, those who are firmly established in your devotion, there is no talk of falling. So even if they are conferred with wealth, like Ambarisha, like Kuchela, they are not. That wealth is not going to be the cause for their downfall. So there is no problem with giving that kind of wealth. Whereas Sadyah Prasada Rushitan Vidhi Shankaradin Kechit Vibho Nijagunanugunam Bhajantaha Bhrashta Bhavanti Bata Kashtamadiyam Dhadrishtya Spashtam Prakasura Udaharan Kilasmin. Brahma and Shiva, they are immediately pleased. Shiva is called as Ashutoshi, similarly as Ashukopi. So they immediately get pleased and they immediately get angered also. So depending on their own natural tendencies, these devotees, those who worship Brahma and Shiva, they worship, Bhattatri says, because of short-sightedness. They want to get something immediately. And these forms of the Lord will give that immediately. So they worship that. But they might be destroyed. It might lead to a spiritual downfall also if it is not done in the right manner. So in this regard, for this, let me give an example of the Vrikasura story. The same story that is there in the Bhagavata also. Says Bhattatri, Spashtam Vrikasura Udaharanam. The example of Vrikasura story gives us a clear indication of this. Shakunijassa Dunaradame Kada Tvaritatosham Aprichadadhishwaram Sachadidesha Girisham Uprasitum Natu Bhavantam Abandhumasadushu. This Vrikasura, who is the son of Shakuni from the Mahabharata fame. Shakuni probably had multiple sons. One of the sons, he comes in Mahabharata, is named Uluka. This might be a different son called as Durga. He's also famous as Bhasmasura in various other stories. So the same person is also called as Vrikasura and Bhasmasura. He once asked Narada, he went and asked Narada, so I want to worship someone so that I get whatever I want immediately. So Narada gave an upadesha, you worship Bhagavan Shiva, he will grant you whatever boon you need immediately. So he went Girisham Upasitum, Nadu Bhavantam. So Narada did not give the Upadesha of Bhagavan Vishnu because Bhagavan Vishnu is not going to grant such boons immediately. Whereas Shiva or Brahma would grant them. According to that karma, according to the tapas, whatever they have done, they are going to grant that karma phala immediately. Whereas Vishnu might not grant that. What did Vrikasura do? Tapastaptva ghoram sakhalu kupitaha saptama dine shiraschitva sadhyaha uraharam upasthapya purataha atikshudram raudram shirasi karadane nidhanam jagannatha bhavati vimukhanam vashupatihi. Bhavati vimukhanam kvashubhatihi. Those who are not devoted to you, from where will they get good buddhi? How can such good sense come inside them? Is Bhattatri asking. Why? This Vrikasura, what did he do? He did 7 days of intense penance. Ghoram tapaha tapah. Such intense penance he did. He didn't eat. He was always thinking, doing tapas towards Lord Shiva. And the 7th day Shiva has not appeared. So he becomes extremely angry and he went to cut his own head and offer it. Shiraschitva. And seeing this, Shiva immediately appeared in front of him. Urahara upasthapya murataha ati kshudram raudram shirasi karadanena nidhanam. But what did this fellow ask? Even though Bhagavan is standing in front of him, not knowing what to ask, because of his own tamo guna, Vrikasura's own tamo guna, he asks a very dangerous, a very ferocious boon that on whosoever head I keep my hand, that person should be reduced to flames. He should be reduced to ashes. This is the boon he asks from Shiva. Moktaram bandha mukto harinavati Pradravatso tharudram dayya dityasvadevo dishi balate prishtato datta drishtihi tushnike sarvaloke tavavadi makirokshyanta budvikshya sharvam dura devagratasvam vatu vapusha tastishe daravaya. As soon as this boon was granted, this Vrikasura, the dushta he started rushing towards Shiva itself. Now I am going to keep my hand on your head. How did he rush? Just like a lion that is released from a cage, it might rush towards the person who released it itself. You keep a lion inside a cage and then you release it, it is going to rush towards the person. It's hungry. It's going to rush towards the person who has released it. Like that, he started rushing. Bhagavan Shiva, he started running away. He ran and ran because he cannot tell the boon is not worth it. And if Vrikasura uses the boon on Shiva himself, it will not work because Shiva is that Trikala Satya Swarupa. And he cannot say this boon has to go Viphala. So both of these cannot work. So he ran directly straight to Vishnu. Everybody was seeing this Leela of Shiva and Vishnu. And as he was going to Vaikuntha, Vishnu appeared in the form of a brahmachari here. Vatu Vapusha, a brahmachari who is extremely clever. He came and stood next to Vrikasura. And he spoke to Vrikasura like this. Bhadranthe Shakuneya Ramasi Mathuna Tvam Pishachasya Vacha. Oh Shakuneya, oh son of Shakuni. Why are you running around like this? How will you trust the words of a Pishacha? If Shiva does not have a place to live, he just runs around, he goes around like a nomad like this. You are trusting his words. His words are not to be trusted. Sandehaschain madukto. If you are doubting my words, you do one thing. Tavaki munagaro shanguli mangamaulahu. Keep your hands on your own head and test it out. It is not going to work, I am telling you. Itham twadvakya mudha. Listening to these words from that brahmachari, Vrikasura got confused. He was put in an illusion. Shirasi kritakaraha. He kept his hands on his own head. Sovata chinnavatam. He fell down immediately like a tree. Brahmsho kevam paropa sitrapi jagatihi shulino pittvameva. So this is the kind of fate that would happen if you are short-sighted and if you worship other deities. You, therefore, O Bhagavan, you are the refuge for Shiva also. O Narayana, you are the refuge for Bhagavan Shiva also. Bhrugum kila saraswati vigatavasinastavasaha. So this one episode he finished. It begins a different episode to show that Vishnu has the greatest amount of sattva guna within himself. He narrates another episode. Trimurtishu samadishan adhika sattvatam veditum Once upon a time, all the sages and ascetics living near the Saraswati river, they wanted to perform a great yajna. They all got together and they said, to whom should we perform this yajna among the Trinity? Who is the most sattvika among the three? And they chose Bhrigu Maharshi, who is the son of Brahma, to go and find this, do something and find who is the most sattvik. Bhrigu Maharshi was deputed for this karma. Ayam punaranadara dubitaruddharoshe vidhau. First, Bhrigu Muni went to Brahmaloka. There he saw Brahma sitting. But he did not pay his respects to Brahma. So Brahma became very angry that Bhrigu did not pay his respects. And so Bhrigu said, okay, Brahma is getting angry, so he does not have complete Sattvikata. And from there he went to Kailasa. He went to meet Shiva. Same way, Shiva also got angry and rushed at him with his Trishula. And Parvati held Shiva back. Girijaya Dhrite. Hare Pija Jihimsisho Girijaya Dhrite Tvamagat. So once Parvati held him back, Bhrigu said, even Shiva is getting angry. So from here I will go to Vaikuntha. So he went to Vaikuntha. Bhrigu himself now wanted to show anger. Suktam Ramanka Bhuvi Pankajalo Chanam Vipre Vinikrati Padena Mudotthitastvam Sarvam Kshamaswa Munivarya Bhavet Sadame Tvatpada Chinnamiha Bhukshadamityavadihi Suktam Ramanka Bhuvi. Oh Lord, you were lying on the lap of Rama, on the lap of Lakshmi, your consort, and you had lotus-like eyes. To you, this Vipra, this Brahmana Bhrigu, he came and gave a kick on your chest. He just thumped your chest with his legs. And you got up with a smile on your face. And you fell at his feet and you asked, please forgive me. Sarvam Kshamasva Munivarya. And you told him, may this mark that your feet made on my chest, may it always remain eternally. And that is the mark that we call as Srivatsanka on Vishnu's chest. Tvatpada Chinnamiha Bhushanamityavadihi. The Srivatsa, may it be like an alankara, may it always be an ornament to me. You told this to Bhrigu. So Bhrigu returned, understanding that you had the most sattva guna. Nishchityate cha sudridham tvayi baddha bhavaha sarasvata munivaradadhire vimoksham tvameva machyuta punaschuti doshahinam sattvochaika tanumeva vayam bhajamaha. So all those great sages who were on the banks of Saraswati river, they decided that you had the most amount of sattvika guna, and they all practiced great devotion to you, and they became one with you. They attained Sayujya with you. O Achyuta, O Puna Sattvochaika Tanumeva Vayam Tajamaha. So Achyuta, one who does not change is Achyuta, one who does not fall from that place is Achyuta. Punaschuti doshahinam. Those who have devotion to you, they will never fall away. They cannot go towards the wrong path. I also have devotion to that form of yours. To that form of yours which has the greatest amount of sattva, nature of pure sattva, is there in the third verse of Narayaneeyam itself. Sattvam yattat parabhyam aparikalanataha. That pure form of sattva which has no rajas or tamas, which is mixed with it. So that pure form of sattva, I also pray to that form only, says Bhattatri. Jagat srishtya nigamanivahihi vandibhiriva stutam Vishno satchit paramarasa nirdvaita vabusham paratman bhumanne pashupavanita bhagyanivahan parita pashranji pavanapuravasin paribhaje. At the beginning of the creation of this whole universe, all the Vedas did stuti to you. So that is this whole Adhyaya, which is called Shruti Gita in Bhagavata, an extremely terse adhyaya. Bhagavata itself is very difficult to understand. In that, this adhyaya, only if you know the Vaidika Tattva, if you are able to understand little amount of Vedas, you can even think of understanding this. Without Vyakhyana, you cannot understand that part of that Adhyaya of Bhagavata at all. It's called the Veda Shruti Gita. The Vedas itself are singing to Bhagavan. So that is what Patatri is mentioning here. You were praised by all the Vedas. Jaya Jaya, Jahi Aja, Ajita Dosha Gribhita Guna. That's how it starts. Oh Aja, one who is not born at all. Oh, so just like minstrels and all these bandis would sing towards the kings, like that the Vedas themselves are singing to you. And you are that non-dual existence consciousness. Sachit Parama Rasa Nirdvaita Vapusham. That which is not, which does not have a second. You are the self of everything. Paratmanam Bhuman Pashubha Vanita Bhagyanivahan. Not only that, you are the phala of all the bhagya of all the gopis. Whatever punya the gopis have done, you are the final product of all their punyas put together. You are the embodiment of all their punya, all their merits put together of those gopikas. To remove all my sorrows, O Guru Ayappa, I pray to you. You are the infinite one, Human Paratman. That kind of Lord, I pray to only you, says Patatri. Dashaka 90 continues. Brika Bhrugu Muni Mohin Yambadisha Divritteshu Ayitavahi Mahatvam Sarva Sharvadi Jaitram Sthitamiha Paramatmanne Nishkalarva Gabhignam Kimapi Yadavabhatam Tadhi Rupam Tamaiva Brika Bhrugu Muni Mohin Yambadisha. So, Patatri takes an example of four avatars, four different leelas. One is this Vrikasura, or this Bhrugumuni leela, both that we saw just now, or Mohini, the Mohini avatara which you took to infatuate the asuras themselves, or in Ambarishas. In all these, we see that your greatness is told. You are greater than all other deities. Sarva Sharvadi Jaitram. Greater than Lord Shiva himself. But you are no different from that Supreme Brahman. O Mahavishnu, O Narayana, one who is lying on the serpent in the milk ocean. You are not different from that Supreme Brahman. And all your Saguna forms, like that of Brahma, Shiva, etc., they are all your own forms. They are nothing else. But you yourself are all taking that different forms, and you are that indefinable being, which is the essence of all these forms. Murti Trayeshwara Sadashiva Panchakanyate Rahu Paratma Vapureva Sadashivosmin. In the Shaiva Siddhanta, there are 5 forms of Lord Shiva that are explained. One is the Trimurti form, which is Brahma, Shiva, Brahma, Vishnu and Shiva, which is Trimurti. And then there is Ishvara and Sadashiva. This is the Sadashiva in the Shaiva Siddhanta. So in his devotion, he says, all these are you only, O Narayana. That Sadashiva of these 5 in the Shaiva Siddhanta, Sadashiva is that supreme being of those 5. That Sadashiva is none other than yourself, O Paramatma, O Narayana. That Sadashiva is your own form. And out of that Ishvara, that Sadashiva, Ishvara and the Trimurti. Sadashiva is you yourself. Ishvarastu Vikunthamadastvavayava. The Ishvara which is mentioned there is your form which is there in Vaikuntha. That form of Narayana in Vaikuntha, it is you only. Tritvam punar bhajati satyapade tribhage. And you are in 3 other forms as Brahma, Vishnu and Rudra in the Satyaloka. In Satyaloka, you take 3 different forms like this. And in Satyaloka is in 3 different parts. One as Brahmaloka, one as Kailasha and one as Vaikuntha. So this is how the Shaiva Siddhanta is, and that is how I will take it into my Ishtadevata, says Bhattatri. Tatrapi Sattvigatanam Tava Vishnu Mahu. Of those three forms in Satyaloka, the Vishnu form is the most sattvika. Dhata tu sattva viralo rajasaiva purnaha. Dhata, that is Brahma, has very little amount of sattva and he is mostly filled with rajoguna. Only with rajoguna comes srishti. Srishti cannot come of just the sattva guna. Any action, anything that uses passion, energy, is all comes from rajoguna. So Dhata Brahma has that rajoguna. Sattvotkatattva apichasti tamo vikara cheshtadikancha tava Shankararama. In your form known as Shankara, though it is filled completely inside this sattva guna, all its actions, the external actions, seem very much like tamo guna. Tamo vikara cheshtadikam. Only the cheshta, the actions are filled with, they seem like tamo guna, but it is sattvotkata. It is filled with abundance of sattva guna inside, in that Shankara Murti. Tanchatrimotyadigatam parapurusham tvam sharvatmana pikhalu sarvamayatva hetoho. But that form of yours, I pray to that form of yours, which is beyond all these three. Trimurtyadigatam, O Guruvayappa, you are beyond all three. You are the Paramapurusha, you are the Paramatma. Sharvatmana pikhalu sarvamayatva hetoho. Even the Shaivas worship you only, but they worship it in the form of Sharva. Because you are that Sarvamaya. Sharva is in Sarva, he is in everything. Everything consists of only that. But they worship you as Sharva. Shamsantyupasana vidhu tadapi swatastu tvadrupamityatidradham bahunah pramanam. But we have a lot of proofs. Say, pramanam means we have a lot of authority and other proofs to show that that Sharva form is also you only. It is not different. It is not anything other than you. That Sharva is you only, O Guruvayappa, he says. And he starts quoting from various granthas now, various his predecessors. He goes mainly with Shankara Bhagavatpada, because Bhattatri is a Vedantin at heart. So he quotes from Shankara. He says, Shri Shankaropi Bhagavan Sakaleshu Tavat Tvameva manayati yonahi pakshapati Tvannishtameva sahinama sahasrakadi Vyakhyat bhavatstuti parascha gatim gatunte. Bhagavatpada Shankaracharya also, he is not a pakshapati. He does not have, he is not sectarian. He will not say this is better, that is better. He has a very unhindered view. He has an impartial view. There is no pakshapata. He is impartial. Even he, what he did, he says he respects you the most. Bhattatri says, O Guruvayappa, he respects this form the most. Tvameva manayati. Tvannishtameva sahi nama sahasrakadi. The Vishnu Sahasranama Bhashya was written by Adi Shankaracharya. Even though there exist various Sahasranamas like Lalita Sahasranama, Shiva Sahasranama, Ganapati Sahasranama, he did not write Bhashyas for those. He wrote Bhashya only for Vishnu Sahasranama. So that means he has the greatest respect for you. And other things also he wrote towards you only. Bhavat stuti parischa gatim gatunte. And he dropped his body singing your praise, singing only about you. Probably Bhattatri is referring to the Bhaja Govindam, Moha Mudgara, which starts as Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam. So Bhagavatpada also, he praised you only at the end and he gave up his body. So Bhagavatpada also respects you the most. Murti Trayatigamuvacha Mantra Shastrasyadu Kalaya Sushamam Sakaleshwaram Tvam. The same Shankara Bhagavatpada, he has a Mantra Shastra. He has written a composed Mantra Shastra called as Prapanchasara. So at the beginning of that work of Prapanchasara, in his Mangala Shlokas, that is the Dhyana Shlokas that are given in the beginning of the Grantha, he has paid homage, he has prostrated to you only, Sakaleshwara. What has he prostrated as? As you are the greatest Lord of all, Sakaleshwaram Tvam. And how does he describe you? Kalaya Sushamam. Kalaya, this word we have come across many times. Kalaya refers to the blue lily. So this form of yours, which resembles that blue lily in beauty, so this form is what he praised as Sakaleshwara. Dhyanam cha nishkalamaso pranave khalutva. When he described about meditation for the sannyasis or pranava mantra, this is the Omkara mantra. When he described the meditation upon that, after having described how one should meditate on the pranava, so the pranava is nishkala. Kala means having parts. Having some parts is called kala. That's why sakala and nishkala. This is also there in the first Dashaka itself. Omkara upasana is a nishkala upasana. You don't have various parts. You just do an Omkara upasana. First you see it as three different parts, Avu and Ma, and then you go beyond those three parts. That is how that is step by step Omkara upasana that has been delineated in the Upanishads, which Bhagavad Pada has explained in his commentaries on the Bhashya. That is how Nishkala upasana is done. But even there, as the object of the Sakala meditation, Sakala means that with parts, that is Saguna. That's what it means. Saguna meditation. He has mentioned only this form of yours, which resembles the blue lily and not any other deity. Tvameva tatra sakalam nijaga adananyam. Therefore, these are our authorities to tell that you are the greatest deity. Not only that, samasta sare cha purana sangrahe visamshayam tvanmahimai varnyate. There is another grantha called Purana Sangraha. We do not immediately know which grantha Bhattatri is referring to here, because in the very next verse he refers to Purana Sara, which is another grantha. So this Purana Sangraha, which is a brief of all the Puranas, it gives a gist of all the Puranas. Your glory is only described. Isamshayam, without doubt, the whole thing describes only your glory. Trimurti yuk satyapada tribhagataha param padante kathitam nashulinaha. Your pada, that is your abode, which is Vaikuntha, is described as being beyond Satyaloka in this Purana Sangraha Grantha. And those three parts in Satyaloka are occupied by the three deities, but Vaikuntha is beyond these three, is what Purana Sangraha also says. But such an abode is not mentioned for Shiva. Such a abode is not mentioned for Shuli. Na katitam na shulinaha. Yad brahma kalpaiha bhagavata dvitiya skandhoditam vapuranavritamīsha dhatre tasyiva nama harisharva mukhan jagada Srimadhava Shivaparopi Purana Sare. This Madhava refers to Vidyaranya, Sri Madhavaha. Vidyaranya, who was one of the Pīఠādipatis in the Shringeri Guru Parampara. He was the 13th or so Pīఠādipati. He has written various granthas, huge amount of granthas have been written by him. Among Panchadashi, Trigdashya Viveka are all famous. Purana Sara is one of the granthas written by him, which is not that famous, but Purana Sara is a huge grantha written by Vidyaranya. It consists of 84 chapters. And gives a description of all the Puranas put together. Mainly the Dharma, whatever Dharma Amshas is there, all the necessary, the heart of the Puranas is given in Purana Sara. And how each deity should be worshipped. All this is detailedly explained in 84 chapters. It's a huge grantha, 3000 plus verses of Vidyaranya. So that Vidyaranya, even though he was a Shiva Para, even though he was devoted to Shiva, being a devotee of Shiva, in Purana Sara, what he has said, Brahma kalpaiha bhagavata dvitiya skandhoditam. At the beginning of this kalpa, whatever jnana you gave to Brahma, in Bhagavata, we see it in the second skandha, where Bhagavan gives the Chatushloki Bhagavata as the jnana to Brahma, which is given in the first shloka of Bhagavata itself. It says, it was transferred to the Hridaya of Brahma. That knowledge which was transferred to the Hridaya of Brahma, that is what Bhattatri is referring to here. Yet Brahma kalpa iha Bhagavata dvitiya skandhoditam Vapuranamritamisha. That form of yours which you revealed to Brahma during that time, that same form is called as Hari and Sharma. Hari, Sharma, Mother. Even Vidyaranya has given the name to that form as Hari and not anything else in his Purana Saratha. Therefore, I pray to only that form, says Canto 3. ये स्वप्रकृत्यनुगुणाः गिरिशं भजन्ते तेषां फलं हि दृढैव तदीयभक्त्या व्यासो हि तेन कृतवान् अधिकारी हेतोः स्कान्दादिकेषु तव पारिवचोऽर्थवादीः. Those who worship Shiva and other deities, Girisha means Shiva. Girishete Girisha. There are two words for Shiva. One is Girisha and other is Girisha. Girisha means one who is on top of that mountain is Girisha. Girisha is the lord of that mountain. So both are very similar words, but there is a difference in meaning. Girisha and Girisha. Swaprakrityanuguna Girisham bhajanti. According to their own gunas, if they have bhakti towards Shiva, according to their natural tendencies, results are surely obtained. Yesham phalam hi dridhaiva tadiya bhaktya. By their dridha bhakti, by their intense devotion, results are surely obtained for them through Shiva's prasada. It is for this reason, because even devotion to him gives phala, that Vyasa in his various Puranas, he has given Hani Vacha towards him. Hani Vacha means he has talked about Vishnu being lower than Shiva. Vyaso hi tena kritavan adhikari hetoho. Depending upon the adhikari of this person, he has spoken very depreciating words about you. Whatever words that are used towards you in Puranas like Skanda Purana, Shiva Purana and others, it is to praise Shiva by a way of eulogy. Tavahani vacha arthavadaihi. Arthavada means eulogy. In the next shloka, Bhattatri will explain what is Arthavada. Arthavada basically means something like praising someone or like advertising. That is what it is. So sometimes it may be completely true. Sometimes there might be an intention that that person should have an interest in that. That is why those words are used. That is what Arthavada means. So Vyasa has used his Arthavadas in those Puranas and therefore has spoken deprecatingly of you in those Puranas and keeping Shiva on a higher pedestal. Only by great intense devotion to your chosen deity you can progress spiritually. So wherever your devotion lies, that is where, so whatever form of our Ishta we choose, to improve that devotion in that form of Ishta, we have various Puranas giving us various knowledge. Is what he is saying. What is this Arthavada? Bhutartha kirti anuvada viruddhavado tredarthavada gataya khadurocharanarthaham skandadikeshu bahavotra viruddhavadaha tvattamasattva paribhutyupashikshanadhyaha. So these Arthavadas, in this shloka, he uses the word Rochanarthaha. Rochanarthaha means Arthavadas. Both are same meaning. Are of three kinds. These Arthavadas are of three kinds. So the first kind is Bhutartha Kirti. Statements that are there that are not against any other Pramana, but they are not verifiable also. There is some other authority. This Arthavada is not against authority. There is no contradiction at all. But this Arthavada is not verifiable by itself. So that is one kind of Arthavada, which is called Bhutartha Kirti. The second is called Anuvada. Anuvada is that which is along with our experience. So your experience also says that is correct. So it is verifiable Arthavada. That which will work and that which we can verify and say that is how it is. That is Anuvada. The third kind is Viruddhavada. Third kind of Arthavada. That which is contrary to our own Anubhava, that which is contrary to experience is Viruddhavada. So these are the three kinds of Arthavadas that are there. Vedarthavadagatayaha kalu Rochanarthaha. In these Puranas like Skanda Purana and others, Skandadikeshu, most of the Arthavadas are of this third kind of Viruddhavadas only, where it is only these words are used. It is contrary to experience. These Arthavadas are used only to create more interest in the subject under consideration. Whatever is the subject that might be there, for that subject under consideration, this is there to create. Therefore, those statements in Skanda Puranas which attribute Tamo Guna to you, O Bhagavan Vishnu, or which attribute defeat to you, or which attribute saying that you are worshipping some other deity, and all these kind of statements and stories that are there fall in this third category only. They are only intended to strengthen the devotion to those particular deities for those who are worshipping that deity, and they are not intended to reduce your own status. यत्किञ्चिदप्यविदुषापि विभोमयोक्तं तन्मन्त्रशास्त्रवचनाद्यभिदृष्टमेव व्यासोक्तिसारमय भागवतोपगीत क्लेशान् विधूय कुरु भक्तिभरं परात्मन्. Bhattacharya says, this is almost a Kshama Yachana. He says, I myself am ignorant. Avidusha, though ignorant I am, says Bhattacharya, whatever I have said now is only from the Mantra Shastras, from the various Shastras. I have just taken some Pramanas and I have told them together. Mantra Shastra Vachanat Abhidrishtameva Adi Abhidrishtami. It is seen everywhere in the Mantra Shastra. That is what I have compiled and I have told you. O Bhagavan, who is praised by Vyasa in his work of Bhagavata. Bhagavata, which is the essence of all of Vyasa's works, which is the final work written by Vyasa. You are the one who has been praised in that. Vyasokti Saramaya Bhagavatopagita. Of all of Vyasa's works, Bhagavata is Saramaya. Nigama Kalpataror Galitam Phalam. That which is the fruit of essence of all of the Vedas is what Vyasa gave in Bhagavata. Bhagavata Upagita, one who has been praised in Bhagavata, O Guru Ayappa, O Mahavishnu, who is in front of me. Kleshan Vidhuya Guru Bhakti Bharam Paratman. Eradicate all my ailments and endow me with firm devotion to this form of yours only. Praise Bhattacharya again and again to Guru Ayappa. So this 89th and 90th Dashakam is to establish the supremacy of Lord Vishnu for this Grantha. This Grantha itself is called as Narayaneeyam. It is for Bhagavan Narayana, it is an Arpana to him. So, as to establish his supremacy, Bhattacharya takes trouble to take us through Dashakams 89 and 90. He gives us pramanas from various sources. It has to be clearly understood that this is not to reduce the status of Shiva or other Ishtadevatas. This is especially to establish the supremacy of Mahavishnu. He himself is an Advaitin at heart. That is why he brings about, he says that Sharma, the form of Sharma is not different from your form. It is the same as you. And everywhere we had previous references to Shiva, he says, Twadamshe, Girishe, Twadamshe. One who is your part, one who is yourself. And he uses the word Jagannatha Vavre here in Vrikasura. He who is the Lord of the universe. He uses that same epithet for Bhagavan Shiva also. So, to establish the supremacy of Bhagavan Vishnu, he has given these two Dashakas. We have to understand that in that spirit. And we also let us have great devotion to our own chosen Ishtas. And may this Grantha give us that kind of a devotion. From Dashaka 91 onwards, till Dashaka 98 to 99, is the condensation of Bhagavata Ekadashaskandha. Ekadashaskandha is like the butter of Bhagavata. It is full of Vedanta insights. It is the highest of Vedanta. So we will take up from Dashaka 91 in the next discourse. We might require one discourse each for each of those Dashakams. So I will probably have only 10 more discourses we may take to complete from 91 to 100. That is how I have a plan. We shall continue this with Bhagavad Kripa in the same manner. Gopika Jeevana Smaranam Govinda Govinda Hara Namah Parvati Padaye Hara Hara Mahadeva.